Hey everyone, today I've got a review on the On Cloud running shoe. I've had these shoes for about 9 months now, so I thought I'd give a quick review on my thoughts and feelings. Now, if you know, if you watched my other videos, you'll know that I'm into very barefoot minimalist shoes. But I specifically bought these, not really for running in, but more for a walking shoe, because I wanted something that's fairly supportive but comfortable for walking long distances. So I'm flat-footed, and I find that when I walk around, even just walking around town or just walking for any long period of time, my feet start to really hurt. So I just thought I'd try these out and see how I got on with them. Now, as I said, I'm normally a barefoot running shoe sort of person when I wear the style of shoes that I wear to the gym. So over here you can see that I've got my current shoe, which I absolutely love these things. I've done a review on these already, which are the Minimus by New Balance, and they haven't got a zero drop, but you can see that they're a much thinner sole and much flatter. And then compared to something like the Vibram, which I also wear as well, and I really like these shoes. These are a zero drop shoe, and they're very, very flat. And I found these shoes to be particularly helpful, especially if you're flat-footed. It's almost like the opposite of what you're always told. You're kind of told that, if you're flat-footed, you need all this support. Well, actually, from wearing shoes like this, I found that I've made my feet a lot stronger. And over the period of this, I've probably wearing these sorts of shoes now 6-7 years, and my feet are so much stronger than they were before. So that's just a tip for you. If you are going to look at, if you're flat-footed or you've got weak feet and they hurt a lot, try wearing some barefoot shoes, because I just find they strengthen the muscles. It's a bit like if you wear glasses all the time, or specs, and you find that it actually makes your eyes weaker. Well, I believe that all muscles can be trained to be stronger, and your feet are no different. And there's so many muscles and individual tendons in your feet that if you keep wearing supports, they just remain weak. So by wearing these sort of flat foot shoes or barefoot shoes, you can kind of strengthen the muscles in them. So that's just my quick point on that. But going back to the On shoe, so these shoes are incredibly light, very, very, very light indeed. And I love the design on them. I think they're a great design in terms of compared to what's already on the market. Now, I hadn't heard of On, and I found this, I think, on an advert or something in a running magazine. So I just thought I'd look into them. And they've got so many designs that you can choose from. There's loads of different colours. And since these came out, they've now got loads of different variations on these trainers. So I don't think this particular Cloud is still available, but it's slightly changed, and I think all the colours have changed as well. But I particularly like this orange. Now this orange is kind of a little bit, it's kind of a little bit grubby from wearing it, and I've only worn it really kind of not. I'd probably say I've probably worn them about sort of 30, 40 times. But they got dirty quite quickly. But I imagine just shove these in a washing machine and they'll clean up quite quickly. So what I found with these is, obviously, if you look at the side, you've kind of got this. If you look, the light actually passes through these. You can see there's a hole all the way through the grips, which makes them very, very springy and very, very absorbent. So you can see I can easily press these in with my finger. And these are obviously running all the way down the foot, and they get smaller towards the toes. The grips are quite deep. And that comes with its pros and cons. Yes, it's got good grip, so you're not going to fall over easily. But what I have found is when you're walking on any type of gravel or stones, they get stuck in the grips, and you have to constantly keep bending over and pulling them out of the grips. So keep that in mind. I think with all the On trainers, actually, they've got these kind of very, very large grips. So if you're running on anything that isn't a clean surface, you're going to get stuff all stuck in the grips, and it's pretty deep. So we're talking like over 1 centimetre depth. You can get stones stuck in there. So good from a grip point of view, bad from getting stones and things stuck in there as well. As I said, these are very, very light, and they are very, very comfortable. However, that comfort comes with its own kind of downsides. Because this is so springy and these cushions are so soft and they move a lot, what happens is when you put your foot in them, and if you're used to wearing, I said, minimalist shoes like me, you find that these are too soft, they're almost too squidgy, they don't offer any kind of support. And so what happens is, as you're kind of manoeuvring around, if you're working at the gym or you're doing stuff that requires stability, you'll find that these are quite unstable. So from the sort of training that I do, these aren't very suitable. I do a lot of functional training at the gym. Also, when you are running, and I said I'm used to barefoot shoes, I also found that my foot just moved around a lot within these trainers, because they are so soft and squidgy. There's no points in them where it's firm and supported, so your foot does feel like it's kind of moving around. So that wasn't great, and I certainly can't run in these, especially the style of running that I do. So that's kind of a downside. On the plus side, I did like this unique lace-up system, which just means you literally pop your foot in and these are quite secure. However, they're not secure enough as normal laces. So obviously tying your laces up, you can tighten them as much as you want and can kind of make them quite firm around your ankle and forefoot, so when you're running you feel nice and supported. Whereas these, because they're kind of tension based, so when your foot goes in it kind of creates tension, there isn't a balance of enough tension to feel like your foot is fully secure. So they're quite good for just walking around. As I said, if you're just walking around, it's not too much of a problem. But for me personally, I didn't find they felt tight enough and firm enough, and especially around nearer towards the ankle. I like to have that kind of quite secure support. So that was a downside of this lace-up system. Even though it's very, very quick and easy to put on, that's the kind of downside. And obviously the tongue runs all the way through. It's kind of got a soft feel through it. And it's stitched at one end and the tongue's loose on this side. So these are a 6.5, and I'm a 6.5 in my shoe size, as are all these other shoes are all 6.5. And again, so I said, these weren't that secure. Well, I didn't feel they felt that secure in terms of running around and manoeuvring, but they are quick and easy to put on. The material seems to be pretty durable. As I said, I haven't really worn this in kind of any real bad weather, but because the material that it's made of, if your feet did get wet, you would get this, they would go through and you would get wet feet. So depending on the type of running that you're doing, depending on the type of exercise that you're doing, that's something you need to be aware of. They are pretty expensive. I paid over £100 for these, and I'm probably actually going to sell these on eBay because I don't really wear them anymore. And I don't find that they kind of meet the needs that I bought them for in the first place. I think I will stick to my barefoot style shoes. So this was kind of a test for me just to see how my feet felt in these types of trainers. But it's not for me. I prefer much more support. And if you're someone that likes that barefoot feeling, you won't like these at all. They just they don't give you the support and that firm feeling that you get in barefoot shoes. But if you are someone that's used to running in shoes that aren't zero drop and they're very heavily cushioned, give these a go. You might find them useful. If you can find a shop that sells these, it might be worth trying them on. I've only found these online so far, and I had to purchase these online. But they are great in terms of colour schemes. In terms of the design, I think they're very, very unique because you kind of really, really heavily customise these. I hope you found this useful, guys. Any questions, as always, just stick them in the comments.